My name is Pam, and I am doing the 75 Hard Challenge for the second time this year. It is the 14th day or week 2 update. What happened this last week? It's just a lot of working. Regular kind of life stuff. I work 9 hours a day. I do get to work from home, so that is a bonus, and it makes life definitely a lot easier in many different ways. However, I do still have to work, so it is either way something else that you have to balance with regular life, and also just trying to do the 75 hard, the 980 schedule that I work. I did explain it in my last video, but just to recap, basically I have every other Friday off, and this last Friday just so happened to be a working Friday.
You suck!
So that means I had 2 days off instead of 3. And then Saturday, we had some free tickets to go to the Dodgers game because of the company that we work for. It was like a team bonding, I guess, event, and there was some extra tickets left over. So me and his daughter Bella also got to go, so it was a really fun time.
We are here at the game.
You know, I thought it was going to be really hard not to drink at the baseball game or not want to drink, but once I got there, I was just like, you know what, this is fine. Like, I felt good. It was actually kind of fun to watch my husband get a little tipsy and just have a good time by himself. Because typically what happens is I'm the one that will drink, and then he has to drive home, so he doesn't really ever get to enjoy himself. And so it's kind of nice to be on the other end. Did you have fun?
Yes, it was super cool.
I did a whole video of spending the day with me, figuring out how to balance the 75 hard challenge while also still having the baseball game to go to. So if you're interested, you can check that out after this one, if you haven't done so already. Major things for this week that was a challenge, I would say, was the fact that I started my period on Sunday, and so that just kind of put a wrench into every single plan that I have, just because it's like a lot of pain. Anybody that knows women's health knows that it's incredibly difficult to go to your gynecologist and go and get like a clear answer as to what's going on. I don't know why, but it is. And I have tried for many years to go and get some answers, I guess you could say, as to why I have so much trouble and so much pain when I am on my period, because it's debilitating, the amount of pain that I'm in, or like the amount of ibuprofen I have to take or other painkillers that I have to take during the day. Just to function, it doesn't feel normal. I mean, I don't know if it should be that way, if it is, or if it shouldn't be, but either way, I've dealt with this pretty much my whole life. And I have just the default answer that the gynecologists give you is like, oh, birth control. Well, I've tried birth control. I have tried so many different forms of birth control. It's ridiculous. And honestly, my body just doesn't agree with it. It disrupts my hormones. It messes me up. I've even tried the IUD, where you don't have any estrogen in it, but it still has the progesterone. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And it just kind of just made me feel like I was in a haze, like in a fog, for the whole 2 months that I had it in my arm, and it was just not right. And then I've had this other gynecologist that I went to once before, after I'd seen him. He ends up getting arrested for embezzlement an insurance fraud because he was giving women IUDs that were not FDA approved.
You know, I'm going to provide the receipts so you can go to justice.gov and you can read all about this guy's corruption and how he only did 6 months in jail for the crimes that he committed.
I've been to women gynecologists where they're like, oh yeah, you might have some cysts on the ovaries, but it's not that big of a deal. And so it's like a lot of minimizing. And honestly, you just kind of give up after a while. You just kind of learn to live with the pain. And that's essentially what I have done. So I have gotten confirmed that I have cysts on my ovaries, but I don't know what solutions or what best solutions there are out there for this. And basically, so what happens is I just have to take a beat and I've got to put my heating pad on. And I just chew some ibuprofen and I just grit my teeth and get through the day. Kind of had a moment where I'm like, man, it must be so cool to be a dude and not have to worry about like your hormones doing this crazy roller coaster throughout the month where you could just like be consistent. Like, I just wish I knew what that was, because like all month it just feels like I pretty much do this.
I'll get off your soapbox, Brian.
And so that is what I did on Sunday. Even though I was in a lot of pain, it took me a lot longer to get out of bed that day, but I did still accomplish 75 hard. It was a lot more lower impact kind of a day instead of like full on weightlifting, but I still made it through. So it was good. I would just say this whole week has pretty much been business as usual. So the way that I feel is okay. Like, I feel fine. I am still at the tail end of that period right now, and so I am still just kind of recovering from that. But ultimately, I feel pretty good. I still wouldn't say like any kind of major change in how I feel, and I do think that the period is affecting that, but I don't feel terrible. I do feel a little bit more refreshed. But I do feel like I need to get more sleep, and that is definitely something I need to work on. Okay, so exercises this week. Like I said, I kind of had to deviate a little bit because of the baseball game and because of my period, and so I have slightly deviated from my original plan that I have, but I think that that's kind of the point, is just being dynamic and rolling with the punches. You know, it's not always going to work, but still trying to do something.
In week 2, I did deviate slightly from my original plan, but I did also still stick to my plan for half the time at least. So I was able to work out glutes and hamstrings like I'm doing here. Someone on TikTok suggested that workout. We're working abs today. And this will be the last time you see Pumpkin in the garage working out with me. She has unfortunately lost her garage privileges because she ran out of the garage door when I tried to call her and tell her to stop. And she ran up on some dachshunds that were just minding their own business and tried to be a big dog and go attack them. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in the process, but she just did not listen to me and was being a bad baby.
Bad baby. Oh, bad.
Deviated a little bit from the workout, but that's okay. I still kind of just listened to my body and did something that was still challenging. So it wasn't just like I didn't do anything.
And so this was the deviation that I'm talking about. I was on my period first day this day, so it was just a lot of pain. I did do a 45-minute yoga, and it was low intensity, but, you know, it still was a challenge, especially for how I was feeling while I was doing this workout.
Just adjust. slightly. And then for the baseball game, I adjusted because it's like time constraint. You know, you want to reach your goals, you want to be fit, you want to do all those things. And it's like, oh, I never have time to just do like a full workout or something. So you got to get creative. And that is where like I'll throw on the 20-pound vest and just push through something that I'm already doing.
I am going to wear my 20-pound vest and I'm going to start my timer just because I have got to improvise with my second workout because I'm going to have to start getting ready for us to go here soon.
Or if I need to be on the computer, pull out the walking pad and walk while I do the work instead of sitting and watching TV. Or just pulling the walking pad over and walking after dinner on the walking pad, especially if nobody else wants to like go for a walk and I don't want to walk around the neighborhood by myself. So little things like that to just make those adjustments to be able to still reach the goals that I'm trying to reach while maintaining normal life has been, you know, just like minor little adjustments here and there, but they've been really good. Diet is still going good. Actually, my stepdaughter last night, she said, you know, I'm really liking this Mediterranean diet. It was kind of nice. I wish I would have gotten that on film.
The infamous meal, salmon, couscous, and this Mediterranean cucumber feta salad.
Either way, she said it and it felt good. And there's definitely some new recipes that are in what we call our happy meals. Those are the meals that my family likes. And so I try to repeat them because like I mentioned before, I love to cook. I love to experiment in the kitchen. So I don't make things twice a lot. I like to try new things. And so when there is a good meal that they really, really, really like, they'll tell me this is a happy meal, where they're telling me like, I really want to eat this again. And so we've definitely had a lot more happy meals lately, which has been awesome. Just gonna keep experimenting. I have some good stuff planned for today and I'm really excited for it. Some good stuff to come for the rest of this week. I do grocery plan and plan out all the meals that we're gonna eat to just try and eliminate food waste. And that way I have a plan and I know what we're going to be eating and what we're going to be doing. Water intake's always hard. What more can I say? It's a gallon of water. You just gotta chug it and get through it. However, I was very impressed at the fact that I got half a gallon chugged by like 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday when I went to the baseball game. So I was like, you know, if I'm really determined, I can get it done pretty quick. And so I think that that's just like a new challenge for myself, is to be motivated to get it done sooner rather than just stretching it out all throughout the day. The Magic of Thinking Big. This has been a pretty great book. Like I said, I love positive psychology. I love books that challenge the way that you think about things, how you approach things. Last week we talked about how it was talking about having excuses. Major theme from this last couple readings, I guess you could say, was like being more creative in how you think and being more big in your thinking. For example, let's just say a low-income family says, oh, my son will never be able to afford to send them to university. That's small thinking. Whereas you can challenge the idea and how could someone who is low income be able to send their son to university? And then you start let the ideas flowing. And so it's about being a creative thinker. There's a neighbor's dog is going to bark right now. Being able to just expand on those ideas and being able to stop yourself from saying something negative, something to the effect of like, this is impossible. You shift into ideas and how can I overcome this challenge? Well, now my dogs are gonna bark. Apparently not supposed to record right now. Okay, so dog is pretty much not gonna stop barking, and I don't really have very many other places to record, and so just gonna have to try and edit that out. Basically, the book challenging being negative thinking, being pessimistic, and being more positive. And that is essentially what the book is coming down to, is how to be a big thinker and why that's beneficial. You know, overall, challenge is going good so far. I feel, like I said, I feel okay. I feel pretty good. I'm excited to just keep pushing through and see how my body responds and changes, and how that is just going to improve other things in my life. And so this is the second week update on the 75 hard challenge. If you like this, if you like my follow me in a day, if you want more of this, please let me know in the comments below. Like, comment, share, all those fun things, just so then that way I know that there are people out there that like this. Thanks.